You're a cantaloupe.
5 long years he wore this watch up his ass.
These are my cactuses. I put googly eyes on them.
Sometimes when I'm driving, I have this sudden impulse to turn the wheel quickly, head on into the oncoming car.
Peter Pan has found a mother.
You want me to say what? Like, I don't get it. Is that it?
The ice is gonna break!
Welcome back to another episode of Walken 101, the podcast where we watch every Christopher Walken project in chronological order. Now that could be TV show, movie, play, whatever we can get our hands on. I'm Kenny Johnson, documentary filmmaker, editor. I only like fruit that's round. I don't like bananas. I don't know why. I just never like bananas. They taste like throw up or like this mushy or something weird to them. So I figured that maybe I like round shaped fruit.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Brandon Hardesty, actor, video maker, and what, you don't like strawberries or?
Okay, that's the exception. I like strawberries. What's another non-round fruit then?
You know what? There's not a lot of them.
I know. Okay, strawberries are fine. That's round enough.
Star fruit. You ever had star fruit?
Oh, no, think so.
Like this very exotic.
No, I'll
has
try it though. I've never tried it.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Let's get down to the business today. What did we endure? What did we watch today?
Man, well, we watched an episode of Kojak, which was a popular procedural crime drama.
Yep.
I guess in the mid '70s, went for 5 seasons, 118 episodes, starring Telly Savalas as a no nonsense, grizzled New York cop.
Yep.
I know that he likes lollipops. I didn't see him with a lollipop in this one.
Yeah.
I know that he sometimes says, "Who loves you, baby?"
Yes.
But I didn't hear him say that in this episode.
No. Yeah, I mean, this is my first time watching a Kojak episode. Was it your first time?
Yeah, this was my first Kojak experience.
We popped our Kojak cherry on this podcast. Yeah, I mean, it was a TV show.
It was certainly a TV show. But before we get into that, how about a little walking in our shoes?
Right, a little new segment. We like to do a walking in our shoes. All right, so catching up with us. Catching up. What's been going on your end since we last spoke?
It's really, I have nothing new to add. It's more of the same, just working a lot, making videos, closing on the house soon. There was Halloween, I guess. We could talk about Halloween. I stayed in with Shayna. We watched a horror movie. It was called We Are Still Here. Ever heard of it?
We Are Still Here? No, what is that?
It was one of these, we found a list of like the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, a list of the highest rated horror movies that were available on Netflix. And it had like 95% or something. Mm-hmm. So we watched it. It's pretty good.
When was it made?
I want to say recently, like past few years, maybe like last year.
Anybody in it, or directed by anybody in particular?
No, I didn't recognize anybody. Whoever directed it seems to be, he wrote and directed it. I forget his name, but I think it was a relatively new project for him, so maybe it'll lead to other things.
So what was it called again?
We Are Still Here.
We Are Still Here. All right.
That's
Check
kind
it
of
out.
fun.
Check it out.
That's pretty much it. What about you? What's been going on?
Same with me. A lot of work, a lot of just dealing with stressful, annoying people, lots of stuff like that. We're recording today right after like a work day, and that's when I'm at my usual miserableness.
Yeah,
the height of it, because I'm it's like at the end of the day I'm tired. Most of my days are usually fine. It's just working with, doing video stuff for my small company that I work at, Render Perfect Productions. Mm-hmm. Also a little sponsor here. We'll segue there, but anyway. Yeah, most of it's fine. Just working with clients, doing videos, really basic stuff. A lot of fun. I get to do a lot of fun, different things that I normally wouldn't do. So every day is something new. You can work with a client who's like doing financial advising stuff, and then a company that does cell phone accessories and all kinds of things. So you have to be creative. Like, okay, well, how can we make that video? How can we do that? It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. A lot of variety.
And then there's just days when you have to deal with clients, and they don't know what they want, so they come to you and say, well, what should we do? And then we offer them our creative input, what they're paying us to do. Mm-hmm. And then like, no, no, we don't want that. But we want you to jump through all the loops and then get to the point so we can be like, no, that's not it. That's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I came in today, and you were in what I would describe as like a low-key rage.
Yeah.
Where you were very irritated. The last thing you wanted to do was watch an episode of Kojak.
Yeah.
But we did it anyway.
We did it anyway.
There was so you're coming in. This is the angriest I think I've ever seen you.
This isn't that bad at all.
I know it's not bad in general,
right?
But as far as what I've been exposed to,
yeah.
This is Kenny on like a level 1 to 10. How angry were you when I walked in today?
I'm gonna say a 6. It really wasn't that bad. Like a 6.5 to 7. I was just really frustrated. You know, it's like one of those like really, and it just happened. Like I just sat there for like 45 minutes going back and forth with emails. I hate doing emails, so I was frustrated. You know, very just wound up tight. And I was looking for a piece of equipment and I couldn't find it. A dumb little headphone adapter, and I was getting like really pissed off. And I'm like, let me just, you know, I get everything set, and I just need to sit there for a second and like check my phone, check the email. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's watch Kojak. It was because I knew going into it. We've also been trying to do this episode for a while. I feel like we things keep like happening, and we keep like, oh my god, we gotta watch this episode of Kojak. We've had to like cancel and reschedule like a couple times. Yeah. So it was just like we got to get done. I was pissed off today, but I'm like, we gotta sit here and we gotta watch it. And boy, did we watch it.
No, we certainly did. We watched the shit out of it.
I mean, we both said earlier that this is our first experience with Kojak, and like I was just like I probably wouldn't be as irritated by this if we hadn't watched it another day. But like, man, I fucking hate Kojak. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't need to watch another episode.
you get the idea,
right? Yeah,
it was pretty bad. It was short. At least
it was short,
like about 47 minutes.
Yeah.
It was maybe because we're not familiar with Kojak. We haven't been, you know, coming home and switching on NBC every Tuesday night whenever it came on and tuning in for Kojak. We're not aware of all the little maybe
it was a big thing back in the day. Like, huge. It kind of looks different from maybe the other shows that were on back in the day, but I don't know.
Yeah,
you know, I guess it had that whole gritty cop, no nonsense thing. I mean, it was really Kojak that sold the show.
Yeah,
you know,
he was very just grizzled, manly,
but he was suave. He had the nice suit and everything. He was suave and a smooth talker, but tough and no nonsense.
Yep.
But with a fucking heart of gold. You know, I figured it out. He chose I think Tootsie Pops. So it's the hard candy on the outside and then soft on the inside. Very symbolic of, I guess, what he was supposed to.
It might be Tootsie Pops, but if it is, then that's a great little metaphor.
Right. So let's talk about the episode. I guess we go over the plot. You know, it was.
Oh man.
It was all over the place. It was.
Well, in terms of tone, it really felt odd. I didn't know what to expect from Kojak. I mean, I guess like. Just like a police drama vibe. But it was, I guess if you say the plot, Walken's the first thing that pops up.
First thing, hot right off the bat.
Yeah,
bang.
That was exciting. That was good.
Walken, he's alert. He's going through. He's in a dark place. We think we broke into some place, and he's like looking around. He's looking all seedy and like, oh, all right, this is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then he calls the cops, says, hey, there's a robbery happening right now. But it turns out he's the dude robbing the place.
What?
So yeah, there's
okay.
So what it turns out he's working with another guy. The other guy's kind of an idiot, and we kind of assume, all right, well, it looks like Walken is going to set this dude up to get caught by the cops, and Walken's going to escape.
Right.
Basically, the cops are going to take out the dude that Walken doesn't want to work with anymore. Cops, of course, show up. Commotion back and forth. The cops shoot, of course, the bad idiot guy. Walken gets away. One cop is chasing after him, and he shoots down a dark alley, and he can't see anything, and boom, boom, boom. And then the reveal, Walken gets away, but there's a motionless girl, a woman, on the ground. She's been shot by the police officer, and you're like,
son of a bitch,
this asshole.
Yep. So and now what we expected from the rest of the episode was okay. This is trying to solve this mystery. We're chasing after Walken. He's the one that got away.
Yep.
But what turned out to be the A story almost, which was like
Yeah.
what you joked about in the beginning.
I literally made this joke because the girl she's crippled, essentially shot and crippled.
She's in the hospital. She's laying
Of
down
course,
on the bed.
Yeah, the young cop, he feels awful about it, and of course he should be too. He feels awful. He wants to go to the hospital and he wants to see her, and he feels so guilty about the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I jokingly said, "Watch, of course they're gonna fall in love and get married or something like that," not thinking that would happen.
Yeah.
But no shit, it kind of almost does happen. The show kind of stops and becomes borderline this weird romance.
Yeah, which is and the how far the relationship between this cop and the paralyzed model that was shot.
Yes.
It feels like how far they get into this relationship should have taken place over the course of like 3 months.
Right.
But this is like they're having dinner by candlelight and he's wearing a dickie.
Right.
And she's looking nice and they're drinking wine and it's maybe day 3 of the investigation. It was
so bizarre.
It was really weird. And I guess before we get to Walken, the actress, what was her name? You looked her up.
Carol Lindley, and she worked on apparently every TV show imaginable during the 70s and 80s, like Hawaii Five-0, of course.
Yeah.
Fantasy Island, you name it, she's probably in it. She's that girl.
She was fucking awful.
She was so bad.
The
best part. the best
scene.
part, right. So Kojak comes in and he's talking to her in the hospital bed. And she's just like, haven't you people done enough to me? You've shot me and I'm crippled. And she reminds us constantly in every scene.
She's crippled.
You've shot and crippled me. I used to be a model and I used to like walking, but now I can't walk anymore.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait for this ambulance to go by.
There it goes.
Okay, yeah, you shot me and I used to be a model and I enjoyed walking and, I would walk for miles every day. And then Kojak, of course, okay, well, she's clearly distressed. I'm going to leave now. And, she starts to leave the hospital room and she rips off the blanket.
Theatrically rips the blanket off.
We get a crash zoom into her and she's like, look at my legs. Aren't they pretty? I can't feel them anymore, but aren't they pretty? And I'm like, what? What is going on right now?
And then we get like no reaction from Kojak, which is maybe we're not familiar with who Kojak is, so maybe that was a normal Kojak-y thing to do. But really, I think the only good acting from this episode that we watched was Telly Savalas as Kojak. You could tell he's like,
of course,
he's got it down. He's got this persona down. It's probably who he kind of is in real life.
This is the 3rd season, right?
This is like somewhere like that. It's maybe the 3rd season. So this character's crystallized. He knows this character inside and out. So and we know immediately who he is. And Christopher Walken. I think he was the only other good actor in this. All the series regulars were just. It was. I didn't know. It was weird. People were acting all over the place. Especially she was emotioning all over the place.
So much. It was so much weird emotion, and it was just going like all over. Like we got this weird budding romance, and it stops. Like the plot stops for like a couple of minutes, and I'm like, is this a cop show anymore? But luckily, it turns out that Walken is in the background. He's lurking. He's watching over the girl and stuff like that. And we're thinking, okay, he's gonna take care of her because she's a witness because she saw him get away. So he's gonna go probably try to kill her. Yeah. That's what we're thinking.
He's also been he's calling the fur dealer that would kind of buy their fur illegally that he's worked with before, and he's desperate. He's in a phone booth and he's like, man, I need some bread, man. And he's trying to get out of town. He's trying to get enough money to just get away because he's hot. I'm hot.
Are you crazy calling me here? The cops are combing the town for you.
I know, I'm hot. That's why I asked you for money. I need money to get away. I haven't got it.
And so then...
Little twist.
Little
twist. Basically, I was thinking the whole time because Kojak, of course, old smart Kojak, he thinks he something is fishy with this wheelchair dame over here, and he's like, what's going on? And he starts like investigating some things, and it's kind of implying that maybe she has maybe she's taking advantage of the young cop. She's trying to get money out of him or something. Like, I'm thinking something weird's happening. And I was like, I bet you she's not even crippled. Like, I'm trying to figure out what it is. No, it turns out that she was actually in on the robbery with Walken. she was supposed to be the lookout. So she really did get shot.
Yeah.
But the cop and her, I guess, were starting to develop this romance, and she doesn't. She's like, I kind of like him, but I don't know. And then Walken shows up, and he shows up to the wheelchair girl, and he's like the wheelchair
girl. Yeah, it's all right.
So
it was a clear way to put it.
Yeah, bad actress girl. And so he's like threatening her and being like, well, we got to get away now, and I need money, so you got to supply me with some money. And I don't even know where the fucking plot was on this, because I think he thought that she was trying to set him up or something. I don't know. But he was getting angry and frustrated, and there's some good Walken moments there.
Yeah.
I had to lay out for a new pad where Jamie never came by, and what with this and that, I'm kind of low on bread.
The money is in that vault. I can't get it. Like you said, the cop keeps coming around. He's going to be back soon, so you'd better leave.
I don't want to hear that. Give me the money. It's part mine. I'll get picked up, Polly. Listen to me. It's a felony murder rap. Jamie's dead. We were part of the killing. I gotta get out of here.
This will authorize you to enter into my safety deposit account. The keys are in my purse.
Suppose I take all the money and run.
Oh, well, the cop says that I can sue the city. He says that I can collect a fortune.
Yeah? That's great. So, we're coming out of this pretty good.
Yeah.
It should have been you and me from the start.
Well, I guess if we want to talk about what his character was, he's just like a sloppy, kind of sloppy. He's gotten away with a lot of burglaries, it seems. Yeah. He's like this just desperate, scheming criminal. Like he very quickly throws his friend under the bus and gets shot by the police. He has no empathy, just completely selfish. He has a desperation that makes him dangerous.
Yep.
And he's just a soulless piece of shit.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where, all right, so this is near the end, and he is escaping with the wheelchair girl, and they come out, and he sees the cop,
right,
and without a moment's hesitation, he just flips the chair and heaves her crippled body into him, and then just darts out the door. Like he's just like no empathy, no piece of shit.
No.
And then Kojak gets him. I got him. Yep.
And then that's the end of the show, right? And then Kojak is saying something to the girl at the end. He has a nice little monologue, and don't be a bitch next time. I don't know what the monologue was about. No fucking clue.
Yeah, but Walken had a couple good moments. I like to show that that obvious. I don't care about anybody else but myself. There was a line in there where he said something along the lines of where she gives him like the number to her safety deposit box to get some money, and he goes, "Well, what if I would take the money and just run off by myself?" Like he doesn't even care, like saying that to her face.
Right.
It's like this understood. Yeah, we're both criminals, and if there's a good enough opportunity that pops up, then I'm just going to take advantage of it.
Right.
So
and screw you.
Yeah.
So he was good. It was a lot more than I thought he was going to be, because this was in 77.
Yeah.
So this is in 77, and he did a bunch of things, right? It was like the Sentinel.
Yeah. So this, I guess this is like hot coming off of Next Stop Greenwich Village.
Okay. Yeah.
And there were 3 projects that came out in 77. Actually 4, but I don't know. Hold on, I'm just on IMDb right now looking at this other movie, Roseland. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that was released in 77, but if you're looking at release dates, this episode came out in February. The Sentinel came out in April, I believe, and Annie Hall came out in May. Something along those lines. So there's a lot of Walken coming out in 77.
Yeah.
Presumably he worked on all these projects late 76, maybe a little early 77.
We'll have to ask him when he's on the show next time.
Absolutely.
So next episode we'll have him on, and we'll clear all that up. And but yeah, he was super busy in 77, and Sentinel, crap. We watched that.
So childish.
It was so not good. And then Kojak TV, a little bit better. He had some meatier he could flex his muscles a little bit, but I felt like he wasn't fully like flexing. He didn't want to like blow anybody away just yet. You know, he's like, I'm just a little Walken taste.
Yeah.
And
but you don't want to be too good.
Didn't want to be too good. Didn't want to put too much goodness into this shit show. Mm-hmm. And then boom, Annie Hall, and then the rest is history. Because this is honestly, this is kind of our last. This is our last episode before we get into the real shit, man. The real shit. You know, this is when he is a movie star.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting like next. I mean, Annie Hall is a big milestone coming up, and then after that, it's only 2 more, and then we're at Deer Hunter,
right? And
then we're off and fucking run into the races, man. We are off in a magical Walken land,
right?
We're just gonna every other movie is gonna be amazing.
Walking on sunshine. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be so good. So, yeah, this was kind of our last. I mean, some of these movies will definitely be grueling and hard to sit through.
But this will be the first one where it's like he's not just in it for a couple scenes,
right?
You know, this is it. This is the project right before. There's no more obscurity.
Yeah, he doesn't become a household name, I would say, but he becomes an established actor. You know, an established working actor. So, you know, we had to get through this Kojak episode, and we did it, and we're still here. We're still here to tell the story of what's going to happen next. You know, I didn't think I was going to make it through this thing. It's only 45 minutes, and I was just like, I got so angry during the middle of it. I was just like, what is going on right now? What am I watching? The aren't they pretty line? Just I completely like almost threw my chair at the TV because I was like, what? I can't do it. I can't do it today. I really can't.
So this our commitment to this podcast here. You're kind of feeling the pressure today.
I definitely felt it. I mean, the Sentinel was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Next Stop Greenwich Village was an annoying movie, but he was good in it.
Yeah.
What else? The Happiness Cage was another just like so frustrating because that was the one where like, man, it would have been so cool if he was that other role. Mm-hmm. And then what else did we watch?
Oh, we got Me and My Brother.
Oof. That was tough.
That was right off the bat.
That was a super tough one, but that was like. We were still like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like we're optimistic. Look at we're doing a podcast about Walken.
Yeah.
And we're still kind of had that excitement around us. But by the time we reached this one, I was already starting to like teeter a little bit.
Yeah, and you know this is a good segue into something that I really wanted to bring up. Mm-hmm. And if you give me a minute, I just got to find a document on my computer while I'm talking about it.
Right.
It's I did a little bit of research.
Okay.
And I mean, as I'm trying to find interviews with Christopher Walken. About some projects. I'm just searching a lot of Christopher Walken stuff. This idea for our podcast has been done several times, but not to completion. There,
I wonder why.
Let me hold on, I swear. Let me find it.
Yeah. I mean, you've mentioned a couple, and you're like, "Hey, did you see this? Did you see that?" I'm like,
yeah. Okay. So, all right. First off, you know, we launched this on iTunes. Mm-hmm. And I am curious. I was like, I wonder if there are any podcasts that are actually just about Christopher Walken. And there was one of them. It was called Walken Talk. And of course, with every one of these projects, there's a great Christopher Walken pun.
Right.
Walken Talk. It was a podcast. There were only 2 episodes released in early 2016, and then these guys stopped. This guy's name is Matt Lieberman and Alex Salem. They try to. This was, I believe, the description from their podcast. Mm-hmm. Best friends Matt Lieberman and Alex Salem try to become the world's foremost Walkenologists by reviewing and dissecting everything that Christopher Walken has ever done. And this is, and quote, this is before we read this and you had this introduction.
Right.
They said, quote, we're talking movies, TV appearances, anything that we can get our hands on.
Oh, no shit.
Join us.
That's amazing.
I looked at that, I'm like,
wow.
Holy, people are going to think we stole that idea.
Holy shit. No, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, and then we got another one. This was a blog called Walken This Way.
Oh my god!
And it was on I believe the website is still active. It's allwalkinallthetime.blogspot.com. Watching every single Christopher Walken movie so you don't have to. Now, this guy got through a considerable amount of projects where he's just kind of going through them and reviewing really detailed stuff, but they're just blog posts, and I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, or it seemed like nobody was commenting. It's like this guy was just creating this in a vacuum and said, I don't give a shit if nobody sees this, I'm doing it for me.
Right.
Like, it was...
Oh, man. Okay, now I think I have heard of that one, and I think I remember reading... maybe Next Stop Greenwich Village. I remember maybe reading a little review that he maybe did.
Okay.
So that does sound familiar. But I think it would be great if we could find these guys and have them on this show.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because his was like, watching all the walk-in stuff so you don't have to. No, I want you to watch this.
Yeah.
I want you to find this episode of Kojak. I want you to sit down on a nice, cozy Sunday eve and just watch this, and just you gotta enjoy this type of torture.
Yeah,
no, we're not doing it to be like experts. At least I'm not. I'm not doing it to be an expert on Christopher Walken at all. I'm doing it as some weird form of torture for myself,
and I'm doing it just because it just seemed like an interesting thing to do, I guess.
Right. You're fascinated by
I am genuinely fascinated by just watching an actor from point A to point B.
Yes. But I don't know what, I'm just doing it to see if I can drive myself insane.
And there was, I swear I found it once, but I can't find it again. I found a blog, something along those lines. It was just literally called Walken 101, and it was the same thing. So what is this phenomenon where three separate parties have come up with the same idea? Like, why is such a, like, you hear about comedians maybe stealing each other's jokes, but they didn't actually steal it because the joke is just so basic that anybody would think of it.
Correct.
What is this fascination with Christopher Walken that we may have tapped into?
I don't know.
And this just gives us, I think, it gives me motivation. Like, these guys, they
couldn't do it.
They couldn't.
And now we have to do it.
And these guys on Walk and Talk, they started with like fun stuff. They did like Click and some other thing. Like,
lucky bastards.
Oh God, I would give anything to watch Click right now.
No,
give me any shitty Adam Sandler.
By the
movie.
time we get there to watching Click, we're gonna be like, God, I would kill to watch Annie Hall again or Kojak because we're gonna be literally. By that point, he's doing kind of the same thing over and over again in the same freaking movie. So it's like, oh, God.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of the over-the-top comedies where they hired him because of him being wacky. Right. There's going to be a lot. There's that ping pong movie. There's the
Balls of Fury.
Dick.
Kangaroo Jack. Geely. The Rundown. It gets weird. It gets wacky. But I wonder... Okay, so all these different same ideas for Walken. I wonder if anyone has done anything else for other actors. Pacino's, Meryl Streep, Robert De Niro. People who've been around for a while. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if they've actually done that.
Or maybe we do maybe someone's done even like more obscure people, like really weird ones.
Yeah,
I like to do one on like Stallone. Just
every Stallone movie.
That'd be rough.
Yeah, that would be rough. That just sounds rough.
Yep.
I would do every Daniel Day-Lewis. I feel like there's a lot there.
He's only done like 7 movies though.
That's true. That's right. That's kind of easy. That's almost cheating. If you do like John Cazale, who did like 5 movies, and they were all Best Picture nominees.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is an
undertaking.
This is an undertaking. The only maybe someone like James Hong would be really hard too.
Oh yeah,
he has over 500 credits.
Holy
fucking
crap.
IMDb. He will do literally anything. Like Christopher Walken has said, he'll do anything. I read an interview with someone asked him, "I've heard that you will take any job." He goes, "I won't take any job, but most jobs I'll take." James Hong is a man who does not give a shit.
Do anything.
He was in like I only bring him up because I was just looking at footage of some of his projects last night. I want to do a full episode of No Small Parts on him. And he did I just typed in James Hong on YouTube. He was in like a really shitty made Pokemon web series thing. It looks like it was like an episode. It looked like a sketch. It looked like a sketch, and it was made by a comedy troupe, and they had basic knowledge of how to put a camera down. And they just got James Hong, and he played like a waiter, played a Chinese waiter.
Holy crap! I mean, if people don't know, James Hong is probably, I would know, best known for as Lo Pan from Big Trouble Little China.
Yeah, definitely.
Phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. It's definitely one of my guilty pleasures in life. It's so good.
Yeah. Imagine if we watch every James Hong project.
I mean, just looking at his IMDb, like you said, over 500 credits, it's just, that's...
I don't think I have the lifespan.
No.
We have to hand that legacy over to my children. Like, you need to continue watching.
Or we'd have to watch, like, multiple things in a day.
Yeah.
You know, just do it all together in one big chunk. We'll watch, like, 13 things in one day. Yeah, I mean, he really... Holy crap. You know?
Yep.
Holy crap. Mm-hmm. All right, so Walken, our next episode, we were just saying earlier, it's gonna be Annie Hall, the big one.
Oh man,
the big Kahuna.
I'm excited. It's one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it since college, but I loved it.
I think I've seen it since high school, and I think I remember talking about this last episode. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see how. I kind of liked it back then. It was cool. It was like I felt like I was trying to really get into movies and stuff, and I'm like, I really should like Annie Hall because I like movies. you know? But now I just don't give a shit, and if it's a good movie, I'll still say if it's shit, and if it's a shit movie, I'll say it's great, like Big Trouble in Little China, for example. A lot of people say that's a shit movie, but I think it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I'll be intrigued and looking forward to watching that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the Kojak episode. And next episode, the big one, Annie Hall. All right, so that about does it for this episode. A very special thank you to Render Perfect Productions for lending us some basic sound equipment to make and record this podcast. Here's a little plug for them. Render Perfect Productions is an award-winning Baltimore-based video production and video marketing agency specializing in creating engaging visual content and interactive user experiences. For more info, go to myrender.com. It's kind of like our first sponsor for this show. And speaking of which, if you want to help Brandon and I continue making this podcast, please visit our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Walken101. We have a lot of great rewards, so anything you can contribute would greatly appreciate. Mm-hmm. Make sure you check out our website, Walken101, for more info and updates. Subscribe to us on iTunes, of course.
Yep, absolutely. Tell your friends to just spread the word if you like it.
Right.
Then tell a friend. Share it on Facebook if you like it. Rate us nicely on iTunes. Give a comment. Anything to help support the show. Keep the lights on around here.
Yeah, maybe we'll work on a Twitter. Maybe we'll try to do that next. We have a Facebook.
That's right. We got a Facebook.
Make sure you like that. I think it's facebook.com/Walken101.
That's it.
Correct. So please tell your friends, tell your family all about this show. And as always, thanks for walking with us.
I said to myself, why is she being so generous all of a sudden? Then I said to myself, maybe she feels guilty about the money. Then I said to myself, not this kid, not this alley cat, not this street fighter. Then it came to me. I go to the bank, I walk in a vault, and the clerk calls the cops. Surprise, the cops blow me away. Hey, you go with me, or we wait here, and he dies, and you go with me anyway. One way or the other, I gotta close the door on this.